So I woke up at midday on a Tuesday because I'm in isolation for the week, so I don't have work or anything like that. So I woke up at midday after like a 14-hour sleep or something ridiculous, and I see that Strickland versus Imavov is your new main event at 205 pounds. It says middleweight, but it is going to be at 205 pounds to my knowledge. I believe I read on the post that because it was short notice, it's going to be at 205, and I think that probably gives Imavov an advantage low key because he's been on a full camp and now he doesn't have to cut the weight as well. But it's good for Strickland because he's taking the fight on short notice. Now he doesn't have to worry about the weight cut too much. I'm assuming he doesn't walk around too much heavier than 205 pounds or if even. So yeah, I think that Sean Strickland is gonna win the short notice fight. It is worth noting that this is like on 5 days. Oh, it says 4 days, but for 5 days short notice pretty much for Sean Strickland. And I do think he's going to beat Imavov in the matchup. I think it's not necessarily a super favourable matchup for Strickland, but I do think he can win it. Imavov will probably be looking to use his wrestling and his striking, mix it all up here, but I think Strickland's takedown defense will be good enough. And I think his striking is good enough. He had a very competitive fight with Jared Cannonier. I was on the side of Jared Cannonier winning that fight, but yeah, a lot of people thought that Sean Strickland won it as well, which is cool. I mean, it was obviously just a super close fight. I feel like there's argument either way. But with this matchup, I like Strickland in the fight. I mean, Imavov, it's at 205 pounds, so maybe his cardio is going to be a little bit better than it was in the Buckley fight. He's been on full camp. It has been over Christmas time as well, so I don't know if Sean Strickland, after his fight, ate a lot of food over Christmas, and Imavov maybe didn't. We know Gastelum definitely did. That man cannot put the buffet down. Let's talk about Gastelum real quick. I think it's pretty clear at this point Gastelum just isn't taking his career very seriously anymore. I mean, he pulled out of this fight. This is with a mouth injury, which is a weird one, but it's probably one of those situations where it's like Darren Till, where he just doesn't train, and then when he gets into camp and he starts training 110%, and his body just can't handle the switch. I feel like the same sort of thing maybe happened with Gastelum, but it was a mouth injury, which is weird. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty obvious to me that Gastelum just isn't taking his career seriously like he was. But I think that Sean Strickland is taking this one for the reason of he knows that he's going to get paid a little bit more for the short notice bout. He's going to get his main event bonus, and if he wins or loses, he's going to get a big favor done for him. He's going to get a favorable matchup in the next one. He's going to get a very highly ranked matchup in the next one. Because that's what happens when you take short notice fights. When you do a favor for the UFC looks after you, and I think that's what Strickland's doing here. Imavov though, he's going to take this fight seriously, man. This is his first main event. This isn't Strickland's first main event. He main evented against Cannonier. He main evented against Hermanson. I think he main evented against Hall as well. But yeah, Imavov, this is his first main event. It's definitely worth noting that Imavov is going to be taking this fight super seriously. Because it is his main event, it's his opportunity for him to get his name out there. It's an opportunity to even get French MMA out there as well. In a way, I guess you could look at it like that. But I do think Sean Strickland wins the matchup. I like his striking here. I don't mind his grappling. He just doesn't use it anymore. Imavov, I feel like, is going to be the one that's going to be initiating the grappling and the wrestling in the fight. But I think Sean Strickland's grappling and wrestling is good enough to defend takedowns or defend whatever Imavov's going to try and bring, and I think Strickland's going to keep it on the feet. And although Imavov's striking looked really good against Joaquin Buckley, I think Sean Strickland's going to be the one that's going to be more consistent throughout the 5 rounds, and he's going to be the one that's going to be able to win the rounds over the course of a 5-round fight, because I do think the fight does go the distance. I would be surprised if either guy got finished. Maybe because it's 205 pounds, the power carries up a weight class, or you know what I mean, but I do think Strickland wins the matchup. I am a little bit worried though. Maybe he went crazy at Christmas time and over the new year, this and that, and maybe he's not going to be in 100% shape for Imavov to fight Imavov. You know what I mean? But I like the matchup. I'm pretty happy. We've got a replacement, because if it wasn't this, what would it have been? Ige versus Jackson main event. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one to sell. That's a tough sell. I mean, remember Magomedov versus Hayoni Barcelos main event? Yeah. It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell. I like the fact that Strickland stepped in. I like the fact that anyone stepped in. I'm sure they probably asked more than one person, and Strickland was very likely the only person that said yes. But he probably said yes, but it's going to have to be at 205 pounds. I'm not going to be able to make the weight in time. And shout out to Imavov for taking the fight as well. It's not easy to take short notice fights, even if you are the one on the full camp. It's somewhat different stylistic matchup. I don't think the walk-in fridge Gastelum would have been shooting for takedowns. I think he would have just been standing there like an idiot, taking shots and getting taken down, because that's what Gastelum does at this point in his career. But yeah, it's a tougher matchup for Imavov, but a bigger opportunity because now it's like a top 5 opponent. So be interesting to see what happens. Or I think Strickland's actually more like top 8, but you know what I mean. Very much higher ranks because I think Strickland. No, I think Gastelum was ranked like number 13 and Imavov was ranked like number 12. And now he's going to be fighting like the number 6, 7, or 8 ranked Sean Strickland. I think it's a pretty big jump up in the rankings and a good move for him. So it'll be interesting to see. I know it's a different weight class, but it's on short notice. I think Strickland wins. There's no Tapology predictions made yet at the moment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to this fight a little bit more than Gastelum because Gastelum, he just doesn't show up in shape anymore. I can't trust the fact that he's taking his career seriously, and I think that Strickland is. I mean, this is it. This is proof of that. He's stepping on short notice. If he beats Imavov, he's gonna be back in the conversation. Well, maybe not back in the conversation for a title, but he's gonna be back in the conversation within the fans. He's gonna maybe get a main card of a pay-per-view slot in the next one, and we can finally see him in another press conference, like stuff like that, you know. So yeah, I look forward to it. Hopefully Strickland wins. Hopefully he gets on a main card of a pay-per-view in his next one. I love Strickland's press conference, man. I want to see another one, so hopefully he wins this one. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. Leave a like as well. I'm uploading a lot right now because I'm sick. I'm actually quite ill. But yeah, I'll probably make a whole new video. I normally do make 2 videos for UFC Fight Nights. An early preview and then a full card breakdown. I haven't made my full card breakdown for the thing. Not that any of my picks have changed, just to spoil the whole video. But yeah, none of my picks have changed, I don't think. But some of my picks are a lot less confident than they were. Actually, yeah, I don't know about the Ribeiro Al Hassan fight. I'll talk about that in another video, so I'll see you in the next one.